like a clear indicator letting me know that this is the chain of events that took place. Whereas within Wrike, I can click on any of these tasks and understand exactly who's doing what and what's happening within this project. So that was, for me, it's more of an accountability situation as well.
Can you tell me how large your organization is and how many licenses you're using? Just because I think it's interesting to me the way you're posing this, because it would seem that any sophisticated user would want what you want, which is standardization across those dashboards and the ability to sort of level set across teams and things. So I'm curious how large your organization is, how many licenses you use.
Sure. So we currently use, we have the 25 licenses for our marketing department, and then we have about 20 collaborators as well that have access to our system. And then we have our accounting department and some of our other departments within the company that have viewing. So they have viewing privileges where they can go in and take a look to see where things stand. So we do support 1,000 clients. We primarily work as almost like an advertising agency for our real estate agents.
Yeah.
So we have over 1,000 agents.
Okay. Super helpful. I'm going to sort of ask a question that I don't really know how else to ask, but I'm guessing that you would characterize yourself as one of the more sophisticated users of a tool like this that has 25 licenses. If someone else in, random XYZ industry bought 25 licenses, I would propose that it's probably, I guess just less sophisticated, less robust in terms of the use case that they're using. Would you say that's fair?
I would say that's fair, yes. And, that is something I've had a lot of these discussions. And one of the things that I think is very important is you have to have that core administrator to really understand and set the system up right to begin with. And they have to have a full understanding and full working to know all the capabilities of the system to make sure that it's actually working for you. And doing what's best for your team. Otherwise, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're losing all that, you're losing all that reporting. You're using all that valuable data to show how much work has been done. And it's hard to, in a marketing department in particular, you really can't quantify marketing. And this is what we use our system for, is to quantify what we're doing for the field. We can't really show an ROI for this beautiful advertisement we've produced, but we can show, for XYZ agent, we've done 27 tasks in 3 days. Therefore, his anger saying that marketing's not doing anything for him is unfounded, and here's why.
Right. So. No, that's fantastic color. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sorry, Salman, I'll go back on mute.
No, that was very helpful. And then, so it makes sense why you kind of went with Wrike versus Asana. You mentioned before you were using spreadsheets. How did you hear about Asana, Wrike? How did you kind of realize this was out there?
So interesting enough, about 5 years ago when I came on board and I took a look at what the company was doing with regards to spreadsheets and the amount of finger pointing that was going on because there was just no accountability, I immediately hit the internet to figure out a way to get this team on track. How are we going to meet our deadlines? How are we going to avoid these phone calls on Fridays? It was every Friday phone calls. Where's your advertisement? We've missed your deadline. Just things being dropped left and right, disappointing our associates. So I hit the internet and did some search for, at the time, I didn't really know what we were going to call it. Were we going to do a CRM? Were we going to do, databases? What was the best way to do this? And then I came across Asana first. And I was familiar with SharePoint and how that worked from like an information technology standpoint. So I kind of understood what features, I was looking for. And then I came across Wrike, and it just so happened that one of the representatives was in town and came by to talk to me about it. Now, keep in mind, this is the first and last time I ever had a face-to-face with somebody from Wrike. So that was one thing I found very interesting. So they came to town, pitched the product. It seemed like it was a very, very startup phase for them as well. From what they showed me and promised to me, it seemed like, okay, this could be a great opportunity for us. So let's, take the risk for a year because we weren't locked in for longer than a year. So we paid the, 1 year fee. Let's see what it could do for us. If it didn't work, we would hit the drawing board again. By doing that and making that choice, I believe we made the right choice. I really do, because with them being a startup and having,